Well, this is everything that was left in the bucket of vinegar, other than the vise, which is going to need a lot more work. It's an odd little collection of bits and pieces, and some of them just need to be cleaned now that the seizes broke out of them. I don't know. I just put everything rusty in there. But as what's left, we'll do the cleaning part of all of this, and then see what needs further repairs, which I'm sure a couple of things do. Sharpening, etc. But yeah, we'll clean them up. And then get you set up here. We'll clean them up. Then we'll see about next time maybe breaking out the bench grinder. Dealing with the other bits of problems like sharpening, cutting, and shaping stuff out. Let's get all these soaked. Funnels are covered, mostly. I got a way to deal with that. Maybe. There. It's all under the water. Bring it back in a few minutes when it's all soaked, and then we'll clean them up. For about half an hour in the baking soda. Got my coffee. Got my vape. Let's see what first thing out the bucket is. We've got a chisel. Shouldn't be too difficult. Let's give it a quick wipe first, see what needs to come off. That is pretty smooth to begin with. It's still sharp. That's good. Let's take the heavy gunk off of here. Another quick wipe, see what happens. It used to be sharpened a little bit. You'll still see the difference in color as it gets darker towards the end. That's the harder steel at the end, moving up shaft. Not bad. All right. I think a little bit of sanding. Very little. Oh yeah, that used to be sharpened. Got a little chip off the end of the blade there. Looks like, before I oil it, I'll show you. See that little discoloration, odd angle there, right there on the end of the blade. Looks like somebody tried to sharpen it from the wrong side at one point. So I'm going to have to clean that back when I sharpen it, when I get the, it still has an edge on it, but when I break out the bench grinder, next few days, when I'm starting sharpening things, I'm going to have to clean that back that far, which is a lot. I have to clean back to the edge of that damage there. But all in all, it's not too bad. Not teabag, as they would say. I'll oil that up, and that's one down. It's threatening to be a short video. All my most damaged and broken stuff is pretty much already dealt with, so. We're down to the stuff that needs Well, after these, we're down to the stuff that needs repair and sharpening. Let's get an odd one here for you. Got a hinge. Got some duck stuck to it. It was seized, but it is no longer after sitting in the vinegar for a little while. I don't know what that is, but scrape that crap off of it. A little bit on it there too. Whatever that stuff is, sludge, dirt, who knows. Clean it up. See what it looks like. Give it a wipe. Oh, not too bad on the back. A lot cleaner on the back than was when I put it in there. Can actually see metal in places. Okay, that's going to need a brush. Brush and a sand. Yeah, that's not rust, that's dirt. Oh, that just scrapes right off. Yeah, that was just dirt. If there's any on this end. Dirt and old paint. Both of which can be gone. Smooths it out pretty good. Might be the dirtiest thing we found so far. But we did find the metal. I have to wonder to myself why I put this in there. Seized and rusty, that's why. Not exactly a tool, but doesn't seem to matter. Yeah. That one spot right there where there's a lot of crap built up in a little divot. Okay. Let's give this sandpaper its last hurrah. Or to break out a new piece. And again, as always, we're not trying to make this perfect, just serviceable. Lot of tipping. Wherever this is from, it spent a long time in the wet. Alright, it's just about dead. Let's try this corner. Nope. I'll do another little strip. That should do it. See what some fresh sandpaper does. Oh, that's working better. Much better. We'll see what that does on this side. Oh, that's doing a lot. Okay. More than most of that cleaned off. It is probably as good as it needs to be. A dry wipe. A little bit of oil and we'll give it a wet wipe. It's in a lot better shape than it was before. Oh. It's not bad. Considering what it was before, that's not bad. So you can see it's still looks beat to shit. Could do a lot more, but don't need to. Little bend in there, I could hammer out straight. Right there. But yeah, you can see the wear and tear and pitting across here. Where it was bolted to something, bolted to a wall or a door where it was primarily wet, I think. But yeah, not too bad. Functional. Good enough for whatever I might end up using it for, which is probably fixing the door on the shed. Okay, let's see what's next. Let's see, the next we have in here is a head off a fireplace poker. Wasn't expecting that. I know we put it in the bucket, but I didn't know where else to put it. It were blacker than ape shit when I found it. No idea why I kept it really, but a little bit of rust off the end there. That's doing good. I think the only reason I kept this is there's a threaded end in it, so I figured maybe I'll be able to stick it on the end of something. Hey, I had an actual fireplace in, oh geez, damn near 30 years at this point. Between 25 and 30. God, that's a lot of black on there. I have to keep reminding myself, well, yeah, it was a fireplace poker. There's going to be black all over it. Yeah. Well, not anymore. Maybe that black has somehow protected the metal. Wishful thinking. At least I'm thinking. Inside that curve. On both sides. This is actually a hexagonal cross section, which is interesting to see. See how good this process actually works when it's doing something that's exceedingly dirty. Not doing too bad. Quick wipe. It's just a little cast piece too, so not especially strong. Not especially anything. Can see the damage on the tip of it there from heating and cooling and constant cycles for however long it was using the fireplace. Show you. It looks similar to pitting, but it's not pitting. At least not from rust. See that? That flaking? That's what happens when you constantly have something in and out of fire. Heating up and cooling down and heating up and cooling down. It'll eventually wear at it like that and it'll flake off. So that's what causes that. All in all, that's not too bad. Tell you what, I give it a quick brush with the sandpaper and then oil it. Put it on the pile with everything else. Pretty soon I'm going to have to break out power tools after this. Angle grinder, obviously, and the bench grinder. We got to do some cutting on at least one piece. Jesus, look at that, just off a sending that second tip here. Yeah, this is definitely a decorative piece. Not specifically meant for any real use as a tool. Just poking logs around. All right. Probably served me no purpose, but might be useful for somebody someday. Still getting black off of it, damn. Just off of the tips that have been heated and cooled the most, suffered the most damage. That's where all the black is coming off of. See? That makes 3 for the day so far. And yeah, you can see how much metal gets damaged from being in and out of the fire constantly for however many years. Just on those hooks, on those tips, how everything flakes off. And it's not paint flaking off, that's actual layer of metal coming off of it. Okay. 3 down. What do we got left in the bucket? Well, we got a couple of drill bits. Little ones, they'll go quick. These will be very easy. Find a relatively clean spot. Wipe it down like that. Get a little crop out of that groove. I think that's all we can do for it. They're not particularly sharp. They're not particularly dull. Any rust that was on them was just surface, so they're not particularly damaged in any way. It's the normal amount of wear on a drill bit from sitting around too long. Yeah. Discoloration from being overheated. But not damaged, not dull. That's really fast. I only got 2 pieces left in the bucket. Set these out. There we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm gonna go wash my hands before we deal. Well, I'll debate on washing my hands before I deal with the next ones. It's 2 cold chisels are all I got left in there. And they're both things that you're gonna end up seeing again because they both need sharpening after the fact. And one of them needs some cutting. Yeah, get some of that off my hands anyway. All right, I'll take a break and finish my coffee. And we'll come back and do those cold chisels. Get ourselves set up here a little better. Oh, that did fuck all. There. As good as we can. Let's do these last 2 pieces. And that just fell again, didn't it? Cocksucker. Yeah, top quality equipment I use here, huh? See if this one works any better. Probably not. At least it's not falling over now. We got 2 cold chisels left. Let's do the little one first. It's going to be the easiest. Get some sharpening and straightening. With a quick wipe. See how bad it really is here. Yeah, it's got a chip off the edge there. It was sharpened on an angle. So, brilliantly by whoever the previous owner was. At least I know it's a hardened steel because of how black the oxide layer is there. Quick one of these. These are things you're going to see later too. These are going to have to come back when the power tools come out so that I can sharpen them. Surprisingly, I only own but 2 cold chisels. One would think I'd have more, but well, these aren't things that commonly get thrown away or left behind. They just sit in the bottom of the toolbox and stay there forever until somebody actually uses them. So that was fast. And with the little bit of sanding, you can really see the damage to it. And then I got to straighten out the angle used there. You can see how it's on a curve, and that chip has come out there. On the other side, it looks fine. If I can repeat that angle on this side, get it straight. Looks like it was done with an angle grinder instead of a bench grinder. Somebody just tried to do a quick job on it on the side of a sanding disc. Didn't realize, didn't do the angle any justice. Plus took a chip out of the end of the blade. So that's that one. That just needs to be oiled. Let's get the other one out. This looks like it's led a hard life. Oh yeah, that's been beat on. The tip of it's in a lot better shape. Just the handle's been massacred. A lot of surface rust on there. It's been hammered on badly. Let's wipe that down, see what happens. So I'm going to have to do some work on this. I don't think it requires that texturing across here. It looks like somebody tried to put it in a jackhammer. Banged the hell out of it in the process. Yeah, let's sand this down, see what magic we discover. other than cleaning, what the sanding does is it'll highlight raised surfaces, textures that you otherwise wouldn't see very well. Time for another chunk. Wow. Yeah. All right. Quick wipe, get the whatever dirt might still be on it off of it, see what happens. Okay. Give you a close up. Ignore the little bits of pitting here and there, that's nothing, but you can really see raised surfaces like there. Dings, hammer blows, where somebody missed it a couple of times, or banged it into something, or tried to use it as a pry bar. This, though, that is just mangled. Banged up to hell and back in all directions. I don't know what somebody did to this poor thing, but they hammered enough to mushroom the head and then chip off chunks of it. Now, in order to alleviate that, I'm going to cut it off just below all that. Just where there's a clean edge right there. Come on. Right where that clean edge starts. So it'll be good hexagon again. That low. So any lower than that have to be cut. No, so we got the line where we got to cut it off. And then I'll start over with a flat surface, so any mushrooming that occurs will take a long time. You can see, like, somebody hammered on it so much that it flared out and started to crack from the stretching, and then those pieces broke off, and that leaves you with a smaller head. Makes the situation worse. So that, on top of needing to be sharpened, because that is flattened. Look at that. Look at that end. It's flattened right down. That is not a tip for a chisel. Focus. Come on. That is not a tip for a chisel. That's not even round. That is flat off. Look at that. It is flat cut off. Chipped a little bit too. But yeah. So when we get out to power tools, this one will have to be cut and sharpened. This one will have to be sharpened and straightened. Head's still good though. This one will have to be sharpened and straightened. It's on a bit of an odd angle. That'll definitely have to be sharpened. That'll have to be cut and sharpened. This will have to be sharpened. So next step, I'm either going to get out the grinders and do that, or pick up handles for those two hammers, work on those. Either way, it'll be a little more exciting than what you're seeing right now. But for now, oil these wipe them, and put them away. That'll be your show for this week. Well, for today. I'm doing, 4 videos a week right now, so yeah, that'll be your video for today. You got to see me start on these two. You have to watch another episode to see me finish them. Hopefully that'll entice you to come back and watch more. All right? Talk to you next time.